Hello, everybody. Coach here, welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Let it 60 outlaw.
That's what I do.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the sled. Watch the sled.
They run the counter. Peyton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Ready.
On 1st down, Peyton trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Manning. That's caught by Jackson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Manning. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Lawrence Taylor coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Raheem Mostert, he was great in that NFC title game, 220 yards. But Super Bowl, 58 yards on 12 carries, though. He did score the touchdown in the 3rd quarter to put the Niners up 20-10.
And think about the journey of Raheem Mostert and what he's traveled. That he has a 220-yard game, 4 touchdowns in the NFC title game that you just mentioned. But only getting 12 carries in the Super Bowl, I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought, I only got 12 carries in a Super Bowl. That tells you how valuable he became and what people will focus on. And don't forget Tevin Clark.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Going the other way.
Come on, set. 60.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touch under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lawrence Taylor able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack. To throw is Manning. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Lawrence Taylor able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready?
Now a handoff here to his running back. Room here to run. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, 71 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. So we've hit intermission. It's an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll give it here to his running back. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown. Tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Set, 8-3. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
Hey, Charlie.
That's trash. That's trash.
Shoot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jerry Rice there to make the grab. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Jerry Rice in the end zone is a sight we are sure used to seeing. Not only does he have the most receiving touchdowns in NFL history, he was also the fastest to get to 100.
It took him, I think we've got it here, 120 games to get to 100. Just staggering.
A staggering number, but you have to remember with Jerry Rice, it wasn't just great hands. It wasn't speed. It was the collective, the work ethic to prepare, and the route running that was second to none.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard. The Browns drive about to get started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To throw again on second down. Madden, that one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Ready?
On 2nd and 11 now. Manning, they complete it to Hill. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
All day, every day, any day.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Throwing is Manning. Man open, Rice. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerry Rice, 39 yards. And the Browns get a score closer. Chris Boswell now for the extra point.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
5 plays there on that drive. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Ready? 10-2 start.
Check, 43. Stop your whining.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Get it.
They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Holt. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Throw complete there to Jerry Rice. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clay Matthews picks up his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack on first down, Madden, and he coughed it up. And this is going to be 49er football. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were booed.